Yes. Do you know that your ability to withstand pressure, mental stress, is different from another person? You can be mentally tough, and another person might not be mentally tough. That is, there are some things that might happen to you now. The way you will react is not the way another person will react. Okay, now let's talk about Jack. Jack lost his job, and his girlfriend left him. Someone that he really loved so much left him. Okay, Jack was so depressed that Jack thinking pattern changing to the point that Jack will be talking about one particular thing and Jack will move to another thing. Like Jack will be telling you about church, Jack will talking about electricity, Jack will talking about another thing. Like he will start up a conversation. The conversation will not even last for 2 seconds. Jack will move another conversation. These are not related at all. We call it losing of association in psychology. Yes. Now, after some point, the family took Jack to the church, thinking that this is a spiritual problem, and the pastor were praying. They were praying, pouring holy water, olive oil, and so forth. Yeah, I know God can heal, and there's a lot of things that a lot of miracles that have been happening. Yes, no doubt about that. But these are psychological issues, and those psychologists, therapists out there, it is God that gave them the idea. It is God that called them, the same way God is calling pastors and every other professions. So what I'm trying to say is, they left Jack in the church, and Jack was there, and the problem was getting worse to the point that if you ask Jack a question now, instead of Jack asking that question direct, Jack will be telling you plenty things. Like Jack will come up with different things, ambiguous things, before Jack will be able to answer that question. And those things he will say are not related at all. In psychology, we call that circumstantiality. Now, there is also another thing that happened, that when you ask Jack a question like, how is your plan like? Jack will start telling you about his childhood memories without even answering that question. We call that tangentiality. Now, there are some conditions like this that occur, and these conditions are characteristics of some disorder like schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. These are psychological disorders that we have. You understand? So what I'm trying to let you know is there are some persons that a stressful event can occur in their life and they will react negatively towards it. And there's a person that can withstand it. Some even can be engaging themselves in maladaptive behavior like taking of drugs, like taking of alcohol, in order for them to cope in that kind of situations. But that is why when people are seen in this condition, you only need to help them. You don't need to see if you can take them to a therapist, to a psychology. Don't allow their problem situation to linger, because once it linger, it's developing from one problem to another. Because we're talking about the mind, we're talking about the brain here, because the brain is full of chemical that is reacting. So, and the brain has different parts, and each part has a function. So it might be that that part of the brain has been overstretched to the point that the ability of that part of the brain to function well is not there again. It's just like when you on a particular generator and you allow that generator to be running for so long, like 24 hours, it gets to a point that the gen will break down. Yes, because the generator needs servicing and so forth. You need to be putting oil. It has time, you understand? So this is also the way our body is. Even physical body, that's how you will overwork your physical body. It will get like you will be drained. You will be having headache. You will see the signs and symptoms that you are tired. It's same with the brain. If you overwork this brain, it gets to a point that you'll be exhausted, and it can lead to a psychological disorder, because you will be using this brain to think about your life, think about the job loss, think about how your girlfriend left and someone that you love, think about how life has rejected you, about disappointment. All these things are stress. All these things can lead to psychological issues. Sometimes you see people who will be looking at a particular thing, object, and that object will not be, resembling what they are looking. For example, you're looking at a door, and that door looks like a human being, or you're looking at a fridge, and the fridge looks like something that is running. You don't know that is stress, because you're overstressing your mind, you're overstressing your brain. Sometimes you might be looking at a human being, and maybe your brother or your sister, and that your sister might be looking like somebody else. That is stress. Sometimes you might be walking along the road, and you might be thinking that you are flying. These are as a result of alterations in your brain, alterations in your mind. Do you understand? So at this point, you need to seek help from professionals, not taking the person to the church. It is good for you to pray, but first take the person to the right place of healing. Because those people there are also called by God.